What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 38.
What?
Woo! We're almost to
What?
40.
What? I'm just going to be in disbelief every time we come up with a number that's over 10. That's
fair.
just kind of how it is. Like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
weekly thing. I do it every week. What do you mean we're at 38 episodes? What? How many times have I recommended you read Discworld? Read Discworld.
Well, I would say this is also a words of encouragement moment for anybody starting a project, podcast, show. Just start. I mean, that's essentially what this was too at the very beginning. So it's just nice to get you keep going, and just consistency is key. But yeah,
Throw it on your calendar, block out the time.
Yes.
Make it happen.
So we welcome you here on this Monday night of Monday energy and all that goodness. We have a live chat going on. So if you're in the live chat, welcome and join us. If you're watching later, no worries. Comment down below. And there we go. What's up? I'm Carrie Lane. I'm joined by my awesome co-host.
I'm Katie Cullen. Hi, all my buddies.
Woo! And then we are talking all exciting things that happened down. I was going to say up at Crunchyroll Expo, as well.
Over.
Yeah, over. Well, yeah, I guess it depends where you're located.
At.
I think often
it doesn't need.
I know, but
it doesn't need a secondary preposition. We've got at. That's good enough.
Over at, yeah.
Yeah. You just need one preposition. That's fine.
I want extra words because of things. No. And we have other announcements, other kind of cool, fun stuff to tell you about to be on the lookout for as well. And I'm pulling up live chat here. Giga Derek referring to Discworld recommended reading about 17 times.
That's not accurate.
I feel there's more.
No, it's not. Okay, there's a difference between me recommending a book and recommending Discworld.
Well, I still go with more.
Concentric circles. It has not been that many times.
Hi. Yes, hello.
Hello, smartass. We missed you.
Yes, we welcome commentary.
We do.
Yes. So I'd say first off, it's the things we're excited about, but I'd say the big meaty thing, let's get into the big heart of it, because then we'll be a sandwich of stuff combined. Crunchyroll Expo was this past weekend. Woo! Up in San Jose. See, I did up again. But yeah, if you were able to attend, awesome. Let us know your thoughts on what happened. And they've posted a lot of the highlights online. So comment down below what are some of the most exciting things you thought came out of the convention. I got a couple announcements that they released, that these are some big titles that people are probably very excited about. So coming to Crunchyroll, so there was a lot of first looks, new series, fan favorite anime announcements, and much more. So I was grabbing this right here. All right, so the announcement kicked off rolling out red carpet welcome for some of the most beloved anime in cinema history. So coming to Crunchyroll, we got Akira. So it's like, oh, yay.
Yeah, like the.
The. Which also, did anybody notice the Akira slide in Nope?
Yes. I feel like it's hard to miss.
Well, if you didn't know what it was, you might be like, okay,
if you didn't know what it was, you wouldn't. It's very much one of those, if you know, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Your Name. So also The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Wolf Children. I mean, all of these are amazing, but I was like, yes, Wolf Children are good, big favorite. The Beast and the Boy. So these movies will start launching on Crunchyroll every Thursday, starting August 11th. So also Afro Samurai, Resurrection, Stranger by the Shore. That one's really sweet. Queer Romance Story, which you can find my article of that here on or not this FANVERSATION, but the FANVERSATION website.
Yeah. FANVERSATION.com.
Yes. And so also Jujutsu Kaisen 0, if you had not had a chance to check out that film, which also, speaking of that, check out our interviews with the cast here on the FANVERSATION YouTube channel, which will be coming September 21st. So those are some big, exciting ones. Those are on the cinematic movie side of things. Katie, what do you have next?
My God, if you want to watch a bunch of movies that just make you cry. They're very, very good, but also things. Like, oh, Those
Yes.
are not sit down and marathon them movies. Those are, here's the popcorn, here's the wine, here's the box of Kleenex, go.
Yes.
That's, one of those things. Continuing with announcements, we've talked about My Hero Academia on this show. We love My Hero Academia, and I think that's what we're going to be covering when we hit the fall season. But we now know it is dropping in October. We have the announcement from Crunchyroll. We got it also, at CRX. And it is also, what else did they announce? They also announced that Bones is licensing Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4 for Crunchyroll. We already knew about Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. So, yeah, October is going to be a buck wild month and so much good stuff from Bones coming to Crunchyroll.
Then a couple more another shows coming. Tower of God Season 2, the second season. So that's excited on that one. Where to go? There's a lot of shows.
There's a ton of shows. Also, those of you who were at CRX, you got to watch the first 2 episodes of this season of Mob Psycho. How were they? Tell me.
Katie wants to know. Here we go.
And they finally dropped the full opening theme for season 3 on Twitter. Officially, not people's camrips from AX. It's beautiful. Mob Psycho themes don't miss. This one's incredible. The art, as always, is amazing. So, if you're a Mob Psycho fan, that's on Twitter. Look it up.
All right, so the other thing, too, is in case you couldn't make it, those who couldn't make it to the panels or attend, you can watch the live stream on CrunchyrollExpo.com. You can catch up on panels through video on demand section. Also, there are highlights on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, as well as Crunchyroll News, where fans can expect here more announcements. And okay, so this panels were to be streamed, but also there's additional digital replay available until tomorrow. So I think that's like if you want to watch a full stream. But again, go to CrunchyrollExpo.com for more information.
Yes.
Y'all.
And Crunchyroll just being on a roll, we're going to talk a little bit about merchandise, namely the fact that Crunchyroll has acquired the anime online shop Right Stuff. For those of you who are familiar, it's stuff with one F, so STUF. So that is an entire thing. And that is going to be really interesting just in terms of manufacturing, storefront. My question is if it's going to affect what they're able to make and the scale at which they're able to make it, or if it's going to be solely a front-facing e-commerce thing. If it's just storefront or if it's manufacturing, licensing, etc. as well. So I'm interested. It says they're not disclosing the terms of the deal, which absolutely fair, but it immediately widens Crunchyroll's e-commerce product offering with significant extensions in the home entertainment and manga categories. So interesting.
I think I'm most excited because Right Stuff has a lot of older titles. And so that's really great that, a big entity is getting in on that and hopefully making them even more available. I'm like, I remember going to Right Stuff panels at Anime Expo back in the day. And so I'm excited that, even though it's morphed into something else, that, hopefully that means we can still get older titles and access to them.
I would imagine so, given how much emphasis Crunchyroll has put on putting older titles on its platform. So if it's able to work with the licensing rights and whatnot, I don't see why not.
Yes. Another one too, I was like, and we talked about trailers and stuff, but Chainsaw Man has a trailer that dropped. If you all check that out, so you can watch that online too. I'm excited. I mean, I'm just really curious how this world works and everything, because just seeing the images, it's very. Wait, what? I mean, we're never surprised with anime, but I'm intrigued.
It's very horror manga, to my understanding.
Yes.
I have friends who have read the manga, and so, it's one of those, I'm on the periphery, I hear their conversations. It doesn't look like something that would be my speed, and I say that as someone who's super into Overlord, but generally speaking, I can only handle a certain amount of gore and a certain amount of spoopy before my brain gives up. Overlord managed to bypass that with the 3-episode trick by spending the first 2 episodes making me super invested and then hitting me with the violence. Chainsaw Man looks like it does not have that 3-episode trick in store. So it looks
also
like something
coming out in October.
Yes.
Sorry, it was like, yes,
For
October.
the spooky.
October fans.
For the
Yay.
spooky. So, yes. I personally have not read the manga. I know a number of people who have, and they cannot stop talking about it. Like, this is a series where everyone I've seen who's read it, as long as it's their jam, like genre-wise, love it. So I can see why that is highly anticipated, and I am looking forward to seeing what y'all have to say about the anime, because I hear amazing things about the manga.
Yes. It's like, I felt this is appropriate, but not, because it's not spoilers. Be
Spoilers
on the
for
lookout.
what, though?
A thing that we're gonna go see and people we talk to, but we can't spoil it. But be on the lookout for some special. I was like, disclaimer in case Crunchyroll is watching this
say
later.
what we're
No, we
covering.
can't. I was gonna say we're not.
Oh,
there's no
dang,
spoilers.
that's right.
We can say certain things. But be on the lookout for content, hopefully later at the end of this week, related to the new Dragon Ball movie coming out. Yay!
Hey.
And reminder, the film comes out on the 18th of August. You can go get your tickets for sub or dub. And
I thought it was 19th stateside.
I said 18 during my interview, so
I'm not gonna pretend to know. It's one of those days, and it's gonna happen.
I was like, let me see. There we go. Nope. Like,
get
information.
Either way,
yes, get your
tickets. It looks like a lot of fun. And just from what we've seen from the trailers.
19. You are
the 19th, right. Yep.
Whoops, I was off by 8.
I'm good for things. Just from what we've seen from the trailers, it looks like we are getting a very Gohan and Piccolo-centric movie. And when was the last time we had that, you guys? When was the last time? And everyone's like, Bardock. Oh, okay. And I'm like, don't talk to me about Bardock. Not Bardock. Bojack. That's what it was. Like, nah, we don't talk about Bruno. But yes, it looks like it's going to be so much fun. I'm very excited to go see it.
What do you think of the art? I didn't get to ask that question for the talent, which you're going to have to stay tuned to see who we interviewed. But
yes, I want to see more than just trailers, because the fact that it's CG, and we've had CG in Dragon Ball movies before. This isn't new.
Yes.
But it's enough that, to me, for some reason, my brain is like, yes, this is different. Like, different's not bad, but I need more than 2.5 minutes of abruptly cut together trailer in order for my brain to really go, okay, we're doing this. Yeah. So I think I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad. It's not bad. It's just something that my brain is not used to, because I've been steeped in Dragon Ball for 20 some odd years. I think I will have a slightly more erudite, I think is the word. I can't think of the word. I'm obviously not that this evening. Big Monday energy. I think I will have a better informed opinion once I actually do see the movie and do sit down for 2 hours of the story that they're telling me in this animation style. Like, I think I will have those opinions then. I think for now, just seeing the trailer, like, it looks good. CGI, it looks good. Let's go.
You said Bojack. Did you mean it like the show?
No, there is a character, movie only, I believe, named Bojack. He is
I'd forgotten
Saiyan
Bojack.
scientist.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know that person, so then I'm confused too. So all right.
Some Dragon Ball movies are better left buried. Okay. And some Dragon Ball movies, some are great. Some are like, that sure was 90 minutes of my life.
Right.
And that is where we are. Bojack sure is 90 minutes of your life. Tree of Might is a wild one that I appreciate. And I kind of have a soft spot for the Garlic Jr. movie, even though it's just nuts. It's not a tangent. We're still talking about Dragon Ball.
That's why I was like, but you know what? In a way, I did as the tease of the spoilers, but it's not really spoilers. It leads us to information, which is kind of news, and then we're in the tangent of specifics on Dragon Ball. But you're
like if we're talking,
check out.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, not a spoiler, but like something fun with the talent we talked to. We got some really deep cut memories and sharings of feelings toward Dragon Ball, the history of it, different characters and thoughts, which was very entertaining. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for those interviews. It's really fun.
And we also asked some goofy questions.
Yes.
Because what fun is an interview without a goofy question?
Yes. Super excited.
Good time.
Mm-hmm. And the 19th, I checked my notes. I did write it correctly. So hopefully I said it correctly. We'll see.
I think so.
But yeah, stay tuned because we probably will be talking about the movie next week. But anyway.
Possibly. We will find out. We will see.
All right. Not current Overwatch stuff, but announcements for upcoming
Overwatch stuff. That's current enough. Come on.
Well, Overwatch not like League, a game right now, but yeah.
It's been over. The league itself has been off for 2 weeks, which, take some time to breathe. Take some time to figure out the Junker Queen patch that we're currently on. Take some time to figure out the different modifications and adjustments, who's been buffed, who's been nerfed for this new patch. And if Contenders is any indication, Junker Queen play is going to be buck wild. And I think a lot of what we've seen in our power rankings is going to be upended depending on whether or not your tank player can play a solid Junker Queen and figure out that positioning and figure out how to make that ult work. Like, that is an ult where if you can catch enough people in it, it's basically press Q to win. So it'll be interesting to see our more powerful and our more aggressive tanks take that on and see how it goes. So to that end, and I'm absolutely biased here, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm not, the teams that I'm looking forward to seeing play this, San Francisco Shock, because Coluge is super aggro, let's be real. Although it's entirely possible that this one might fall to Mikey. So either way, we have two very in-it aggro tanks. Of course, the LA Gladiators. I really want to see how Reiner handles this. And the Gladiators are so flexible that even if it's not something they can fold into their kit, I'm sure they have ways to deal with it. The Washington Justice, actually, because I know we have the coin flip. Is it going to be good justice or bad justice today? Is it going to be the team that plays well or the team that has problems? But I want to see how Mag approaches this, because Mag is an interesting tank sometimes. So I really want to see how the Junker Queen fits in his kit, if the Junker Queen fits in his kit. And of course, I'm hella biased, but like, I honestly don't know if Dante or Piggy is going to take Junker Queen. I feel like it's a Dante tank, but either which way, very excited to seeing the Outlaws play this one. We're going to have Outlaws versus Gladiators this coming weekend, and I initially termed that as no matter who wins, I win, because my team wins, and then I watched the first match of that, and then I realized that it just hurts my heart because I love them both so much. So we have This Is Gonna Hurt My Heart this weekend. We also have Gladiators and Dallas. Dallas will be interesting to see because they're a team that a lot of people put a lot of stock in for the Countdown Cup. I keep calling it that, the Mid-Season Madness, and then they didn't perform up to spec. So it'd be interesting to see if Dallas turned that around, though I'm absolutely calling Gladiators for that match. Washington versus San Francisco. Again, Washington, are you going to show up? What are you going to do? But definitely San Francisco. And then Gladiators in Houston. I have to call Gladiators. I love Houston. They're wonderful. But Gladiators have just been far more consistent, and they've been so dang resilient. I'll be very interested to see how Junker Queen play goes down. I still have to do my predictions on the app. I am absolutely certain that my predictions will be blown up within an hour of the first match happening. Like, there's no way. This is such a weird spanner in the works that it's very hard to predict, especially if you're not privy to scrims. But I'm here for it. I'm very excited. And for those of you who cannot wait to see Junker Queen play, Contenders has been on this patch for weeks. So The EU finals were amazing and worth watching. The entire NA bracket, and I'm very biased in this, of course, but the entire NA bracket was absolute fire. Hell, the entire EU bracket was absolute fire. Korea was also amazing. And currently this week, we have China and Australia contenders going. So if you really need that Junker Queen fix now, Tendies has you covered. And also support your Tier 2 Overwatch. There are some really fun people in there. So yes, that is my Overwatch for the week. Looking ahead and going, this is going to be great. I'm terrified. It's that I'm so excited, I'm so scared gif.
I think you need to continue your like predictions in advance and parallel it to, like somehow side by side with what happens and just be like,
I used to do an entire podcast with another friend where we would just do in-depth Overwatch League every week, predict every match. He was a coach for a little bit, not at league level, but at, I want to say Tier 3 level. So he knows a lot more about this than I ever will. And his predictions were much better than mine. But
how you say them is entertaining. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's called On the Point. It's all the back episodes are on my YouTube channel. They all have completely insane titles because occasionally we would say completely insane stuff, and that's just what I would call it when I was editing it because I have no shame and there's some wild stuff there. So yeah,
yes. Sorry, I was just seeing another newsy thingy that I'm like, oh wait, I forgot that one. So rewinding a tiny bit, High Dive, because we want to give shout out to another platform.
High Dive.
High Dive. It does work, yes. High Dive announced it will add Super Dimension Century Orgus, the classic sci-fi anime series created by Big West, which is Macross, Irresponsible Captain Taylor, and TMS Entertainment to its retro anime lineup. So want an old school fix. It will begin streaming in summer 2022, which is nowish. So hopefully that should be coming out soon. So check out High Dive. You can follow them online at High Dive Official on Twitter and High Dive Official on Facebook and Instagram. Same. So High Dive Official. So
and also, if you have a High Dive account, you should be watching your boy Kongming. Why haven't you watched your boy Kongming? 12 episodes. Let's go.
And then you want to go dark AF, go watch the new season of Made in Abyss also on High Dive. Yay!
They have some of the music from Kongming on Spotify. I went on a dive and it has been so
High
good.
Dive?
Yes, exactly. High dive into the depths of Spotify to be like, I need this. I need this on my playlist. It gives me the good brain juice, as Aaron Hansen would say. So I need it.
Yes. I was going to say, well, we're not going to be doing Overlord just yet. I know we did talk about it, but kind of catching y'all up. So I'm on beginning of season 3 and observations. This is not really spoilers if you're just getting into it.
You can keep them relatively vague.
Vague. Something kind of weird at the beginning of 2. There's an arc that's very involved, and you're like, what? How do we jump here? So this show does a thing where they're like, here's something to be heavily invested in. And then once that kind of wraps up, they like pivot and go to a completely other direction. And it makes you feel like, did I miss an episode? It works because then there are characters that are like, oh yeah, remember that thing? But it was a little bit weird in 3 that we like pivoted from the lizard plot line and then we're like something completely different after that finished. Or at least to me, I felt like, but I like where it's going. It just is, anime is unique in the way that sometimes it just kind of skips in storytelling.
Yeah.
And I'm liking the very deep political intrigue of season 3 of, by the way, you felt that beginning was a little more surface level-ish. Here's like a whole bunch of stuff.
I think you might be, I'm trying to remember what part of season 3 comes first.
It's and I think royalties having some issues. Princess is not all she appears, which I kind of was having feelings on that. I had suspicion. They're trying to, our main team is trying to figure out should they become more independent or align, and maids are getting a little more featured.
Okay. Yeah, this part. All right. But, yeah. Did you already? I'm I'm trying to figure, like, I enjoyed this thing. Was it the end of season 2 or was it part of season 3? I
Right.
don't remember the arc with Sebas, his whole thing.
Yes, that was a good arc. I was like, I really
that
like
would have
this
been
character.
end of season 2 then. Yeah,
Yes.
that has been my favorite arc. Just that
already
whole
liked
bit.
his character, but it was really interesting, and I like that we got more depth. And it's just as I mean, I haven't played many games in a while, but the idea of NPC characters hanging out with other NPC characters and what do they do, and when the strings of the puppets have been cut loose, what will they choose to do? Is
I mean, to be
interesting.
fair, that's basically The Sims. That's
True.
kind of what Sims players do. They're like, I have built all of these people. Go, my children. I don't really play The Sims. I could never
I
get
was gonna say, I'm
into it.
like,
But
I never got into Sims. I got maybe a tiny bit into like build your own theme park one because my brother played that one and I played a little bit, but I was like, eh. I liked Age of Empires though, so I like that one.
I'd swap the lower third because here we go.
Oh, okay. Wait, and
we did, we did. God, SimCity 1995, 98. We could never, as children who did not understand how infrastructure worked, it was a revelation that the city only started working when you did things like lay water pipes. Like, oh, huh. Third grade Katie didn't really have that understanding of city planning, but we like to load the prefab cities and then set all the natural disasters on them, especially the alien, because they had a full War of the Worlds alien in a tripod that would come down and just stomp on the city and then leave eventually. It would just float off the map.
Is it Nice Guy? Ryan Reynolds, that one that just came out?
Free Guy.
Free Guy. It's like that because they're all technically NPCs too and living their lives.
That's true. That's true. That's a little more AI than most NPCs. Let's be real.
Yeah,
but
it's that one. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch it.
It's on Disney Plus. I know the advertising kind of looked a little like okay, but no, the movie's amazing.
It was even better.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Deep cuts, a lot of funny jokes, and very entertaining. Well, because and then now that we're in the tangent, the idea of NPCs. So the way later, most recent SAO season is NPC characters, and do you go against your programming or not? I mean, they have the other main people too, but like a lot of the characters are NPCs, and can you break your core programming? What happens if you do? And it's really kind of fascinating, like, to look at it. So it's cool watching Overlord, knowing the meta-ness of like, these were programs and like, what are they going to do now? I mean, it's not
honestly
a game anymore, but still.
You want to talk about programs coming alive? This is how this question is wired in my brain. Okay. Has anyone seen Tron?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And for anyone who has watched the other thing where that particular phrasing in question comes from, you know why that's wired in my brain like that.
I was going to say, why?
Sword Art Online Abridged.
Oh, okay.
That is my preferred flavor of SAO.
That's fair.
So that's Kayaba Akihiko in episode 1 attempting to explain the situation to everyone who's trapped there. Has anyone seen Tron? So yeah.
Depending on what age group. Well, they probably would have seen the remake or the new one.
It's not a remake, it's a sequel. And there's a cartoon. Tron Uprising is amazing and also heartbreaking. And honestly, Disney XD did that show dirty in terms of the airing schedule. Whenever someone makes a cartoon that's like, it's aimed at the slightly older demographic, and by that I mean 12 to 15, they go, what if we aired it exclusively at 6 a.m. every other Tuesday? All the good stuff gets canceled. Me staring down Owl House and going, this is unfair.
Y'all remember Reboot?
Yes.
I was like,
yep. Oh my God, classic.
It's like, hold on. We need, for anybody, it's not of that certain age. Oh, okay, this is not the bestest view, but
this is not the best way to do it, but like, oh my God.
I just thought that was a good
classic
show. That was
CGI.
Anyway.
And some
Okay.
absolutely buck-wild existentialism in the 3rd season.
Yeah, that was also, I remember that being a really
It's like,
fun show.
hey, did you want an exploration of the self? Reboot season 3. What? What? Okay, what?
Okay.
Children's media does some really wild stuff sometimes, and it's honestly amazing. Because kids aren't dumb. Kids are not stupid. Kids can follow a plot. Kids can understand themes. So, like, having children's media...
It's a good thing. Come on now.
Yeah. Having children's media that is intelligent, carries a story. Like, it doesn't all have to be the most amazing thing ever, but, like, y'all, we're the generation that grew up on the OG DuckTales, the OG Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, things like that, SWAT Cats, things that didn't always have to be nice and fun and happy and could occasionally really hit home with something. And now we have this generation that is growing up on Gravity Falls, Amphibia, Owl House. God, there's another one, and it is just eluding me right now. But it's a new era of, these are made for kids, but they're a younger audience, but they are also made by the people who grew up on OG Disney afternoons, Cartoon Network, etc., and understand that, hey, you can put an actual ongoing serialized plot in a show and the kids will follow it. They're not dumb. You can have puns, you can have witticisms, you can have morals that aren't spelled out and that are instead portrayed through character actions and interactions, and kids will follow that. I am, again, sitting here and doing this for Owl House and continually furious that it got canceled, and instead of having a full season 3, we're getting 3 45-minute specials, which is still massively unfair. At least it's getting an actual planned ending, but, like, it was an unfair cancellation.
Not a children's one. Sense8, that too, if they got a movie to wrap it all up of, like, sure,
yeah, it's like, come on. But yeah,
I'll take what I can get, though. When something's canceled, I'll be like, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll take it.
And let's be real. Gargoyles walked so Gravity Falls could run, and Gravity Falls walked so Owl House could run. Like, if you're looking for some beautiful buck wild stuff, Gravity Falls and Owl House are the places to be.
I've only watched a little bit of Owl House, and then thinking of the art style, I'm like, well, they're different art styles, though, but I'm curious to see where the stories go, you know.
They are both. Have you watched Gravity Falls?
No, I've just seen pictures of people sharing it, so.
You gotta. Oh,
what's that one on now?
You would like Disney Plus. It's a Disney show.
All right.
It's an Alex Hirsch helmed Disney show, and it basically, that is I've told my standards and practices joke on this show, haven't I?
Remind me?
Oh, I don't know that I have. Okay. So for those unfamiliar with show business, how shows get made, etc., standards and practices is a department that essentially looks over the show and goes, hey, this is appropriate to air, this isn't appropriate. I have told this before.
Yeah, because then we were talking about the Weird Al thing where they bleeped out a word and made it sound worse.
Yes. Yeah. Gravity Falls was the show where it was spin the bottle on a party flyer was not approved by standards and practices. So they removed spin the bottle and put in not approved by standards and practices, and standards and practices approved it. So sometimes S&P does have best interests at heart, and sometimes S&P is just really uptight about things. Animaniacs used to get around them by putting in even worse jokes as decoys that would get cut, so the stuff that they wanted to actually keep would stay. Nobody caught the fingerprints joke. Nobody caught
it. That show had a lot of, hey now, good jokes.
Oh, yeah. So consider the fact that they had even wilder hey now when they sent it into standards and practices to Trojan horse it, basically.
Uncut version.
Uncut Animaniacs from the 90s. Oh my God.
Like,
I have one fear, and it's that. Oh, man. Okay, so we are way the hell off topic, but that is what standards and practices is. I'm amazed as much of Gravity Falls survived as it did. Gravity Falls and Owl House are amazing. You should watch them both.
All right. I think since we covered our main things, we're getting ready to do just things where. Oh no, not that one. Just kidding.
I was going to say, all of this has been things we're excited about.
There we go.
When it wasn't tangents.
I'm at a slightly different setup, so I was like, I can't see it. So there we go. Stuff you should check out because we have a slightly more. Thank you for bearing with us with these more unique episodes. Which also, fun. Yeah, it's always fun. So stuff you should check out. Some things you've been watching. I finished the most recent season for Umbrella Academy. It definitely just keeps getting weirder. So if you're enjoying the weird, go with it. Been powering through Overlord to catch up and be up to date when still enjoying it. And Orville still I'm a little bit behind on what's currently on TV, but really liking that show. They've had a few more episodes that are a little more obviously metaphorical, but I hope that gets to some people that maybe you need your metaphor very spelled out for you to understand, like, hey, maybe you should think about this. But I'm still very much, it's not bad. Like, don't take that as it's boring or annoying or whatever like that. It's just unique.
Not what you prefer in an episode.
I felt one was a little too spelling it out hard, but it was still an interesting episode, which shout out plug in this part about Orville. Go check out FANVERSATION Comic-Con recap videos and such. It's in the description. I did speak with quite a few members of the cast of the Orville, so you can go watch those interviews. I think that's the main things that I've been watching. Yes. Katie.
I have mostly just been living on YouTube content because that is my life, and y'all, Contenders is on, and that's a great thing for me to just throw on and listen to when I really just want to hear two very talented people talking over the sounds of a video game. Casters are amazing on all levels, just wonderful. Like I've said, watch Tron Uprising, though it's not going to make a lot of sense if you don't watch wow, why can I not remember what the sequel to Tron is called? Legacy. Tron Legacy.
Yep.
Watch Tron Legacy, watch Tron Uprising. Watch Owl House, watch Gravity Falls. All of these things where I've been sitting here going, these are really good. You should watch them.
What do you think of, did you watch the She-Ra remake show?
I've watched part of it. It's one of those shows where I need to go back to it.
Yes.
Like, I know it is quality with a capital Q. I am aware of that. There's just sometimes I encounter a show and my brain goes, not today. Like, okay, when? Brain's like, just not today. Like, okay, put it on the list. There's a few of them.
I would say for not that you're doing this, but anybody else who wants to check out the She-Ra DreamWorks show, so the new one on Netflix, stick with it. If you are a younger person or younger heart, mind, maybe it's going to be fine right away. For me, I would still put myself in that category, but I felt it took a little bit for it to get really like meaty and interesting and the depth coming along. But it was a very nice, I just want to watch a like feel good, but there's still things going on show. And I have really appreciated how we were talking earlier of smart shows for children, even though it is aimed at a younger demographic, it doesn't necessarily feel dumbed down. So highly recommend it as a show. Stick with it. It just keeps getting better as it goes on.
Yeah, the more recent DreamWorks animation show that I really stuck with was Voltron. And I know there's differing opinions on the internet, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty well crafted. And with any show that's based on an IP, you know, the IP holders are not the showrunners. It's not a Steven Universe thing. It's not Steven Universe, also quality. Just going through great animated shows here. That's what we're doing. Yeah, and any show that's based on a long-standing IP like that, there's always some company that owns it. It's never going to be owned by the showrunners. So you know that the decisions don't stop with them. So, and that's the case for, again, everything that's based on a toy from the 80s or the 90s or whatever. If it's not an original IP, some corporation owns it. So that's just life. Sometimes you can see their fingerprints on the product, and that is also just life. But She-Ra is very good from everything I've heard, and I really enjoyed Voltron. So, things that are on Netflix. DreamWorks Animation has a lot of really good stuff on Netflix. I hear Kino and the Wonder Beast is great. I don't even know if I got the show title right, but I hear it's great.
I haven't checked that one out yet. I watched start of the beginning of Dragon Prince. I have friends who love it. I'm still pretty early on in that one.
That is also on my list of not today.
Yeah.
But someday.
Yes.
But yeah, watching stuff on Crunchyroll I have been keeping up with, and by keeping up with, I mean mainlining the 3 episodes that I missed. Parallel World Pharmacy. It's a weird little kind of wish fulfillment, but it's fun wish fulfillment. I've talked about it on the show about it's an isekai, but pharmacist from modern Japan wants to start a pharmacy that all sorts of people can get medicine. It wants to offer essentially socialized medicine to this medieval sort of kingdom, which is, kind of the dream if you're in America. But it's again, there's nothing really huge happening. There's a promise of wilder things going down possibly later. There's a promise of some backstory, but for the moment, we're still kind of finding our footing. We're still kind of getting going, and it's nice. It is a nice show. I also saw, for those of you who are comfortable going to theaters, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. This is the kind of movie, I put it in the same category as Chocolat and Morning Glory, where it's a nice little story. The stakes aren't life-ending or life-threatening. It's mostly social stuff. And it's a very specific kind of wish fulfillment, but it's wish fulfillment aimed at me, and therefore I will take it. And it's set in late 50s London and then late 50s Paris. And it's about this woman named Mrs. Harris, who she's a housekeeper. She's a cleaning woman for higher end clients. And at one point she finds Dior. Yeah, she finds a Dior dress in one of her clients' closets. And it's one of those high end haute couture, $500 handmade, like one of those really fancy numbers. And it just kind of becomes, okay, but my goal is to get one of those. That is what I want. And she makes it to Paris, and it's just kind of this whirlwind of, because of her personality and because of her approach to life, it opens doors that otherwise wouldn't be opened. So again, there are some parts of it that are a little pat. There are some parts of it that are like, boy, that was a string of dominoes that fell just right. But again, it's a very specific type of wish fulfillment, and it's aimed at me, and therefore I love it. And it's just one of those movies where I will be purchasing it when it comes out, in the same way that I purchase Chocolat, and at some point I need to get my hands on Morning Glory, where I just kind of want to put it on and have a nice story. Like that's what it is. It does what it's meant to do, and I loved it.
Giga Derek says affordable healthcare, the isekai.
Yeah. Isekai myself to modern day Japan, because it turns out it's a thing when you're not in the US. The
way you're describing it's making me think. I haven't seen that movie yet, but have you seen Miss Pettigrew Liz for a Day?
I have not.
That one's also a wonderful, just feel good movie, because sometimes those are nice. You're like, I want to just feel good, happy, and highly recommend Miss Pettigrew Liz for a Day.
And there's always one point 2/3 through where you're sitting there going, oh no, and then it gets better. Yeah. Yup.
Just
you can tell with all of the, like, it's the genre. It's this very specific subset of cozy genre, and it's the same reason that I'm reading a Sophie Kinsella book that I checked out from the library. Like, it's cozy, it's nice, I like it. Not everything has to be high stakes. Not everything has to be crazy. Not everything has to be, I love shonen, but I also need a break from shonen. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris was amazing. And again, I'm reading a Sophie Kinsella novel right now. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes.
Yes.
And there is nothing wrong with that. Find the thing that gives you the good brain juice.
Yes, and hopefully we gave you some good brain juice. I don't know if that sounds about right, but yeah,
No,
sure.
that's about right. It's good brain
Yeah.
juice, endorphins, basically.
Yay. Oh, there you go.
What's the other one? Serotonin.
There
we go. That is also good brain juice.
Dopamine?
I think
Right?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the other one.
Yeah. Find the
yes.
things that give you the good brain juice.
Yay.
It's not always easy to do, but when you find one, it's okay if you just kind of put it on repeat for a while. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for joining us this week, and hopefully we added a little bit of splash of happiness to your day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. And make there we go. Thank you, Gig there. Yeah, sounds about right. Yay. But yeah, make sure to tune in each week. Make sure to give video a thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. And Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. Yeah, if you like reaction videos, we're currently doing vlogs for Ruby Ice Queendom on that channel. All sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, check that out. It is a very good time. I am also a co-host on the YouTube channel called Silver Screams, where we talk about horror stuff. It is once again me and my roommate having a grand old time. We recently did I hesitate to call it an in-depth conversation. It was more long than anything, but it was a lot of fun about Nope. She went to see it. I came back and asked her questions. It's a good time. And a reaction to the Halloween Ends trailers. The Halloween trailers always cause very genuine reactions for me. So if you want to see me jump out of my skin, that's where to do it.
Yay!
For those of you who miss me yelling at Ruby, man, check out some of those Silver Screams reactions. Woof. It's the horror channel, and I'm the wuss. It's great.
That makes it so fun, though. As long as you're having fun. Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if I weren't having fun.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. That's what my day job is for.
Fair. And I was planning because it's a mirror, and I'm like, damn, nabbit, it is. There we go. Y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE across all the social media platforms. Been posting some fun snippets of interviews on my TikTok, and they're also on the FANVERSATION channel. So make sure to follow FANVERSATION also on social media. And I was like, nothing else particular. Just stay tuned. I've been slowly rolling out clips from Comic-Con and everything, so you can check those out. And like we said, stay tuned for interviews from some certain somebodies for the new Dragon Ball movie coming out.
Good time. That's a good time.
It was fun. Looking last minute comment. Ends. Yes, the ends.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get more in the Halloween. We're gonna have another season of The Witch. It's gonna be great. That franchise,
but then hopefully
man.
Next week will be Overlord is the plan. So
stay
tuned for that. So you have a little bit more time to catch up if you're like me and you haven't gotten caught up yet. You got 3 seasons and some episodes in season 4. Overlord, go check them out over on Crunchyroll.
We will be covering the first 2 episodes of season 4, and we will be doing 2 episodes per until we catch up.
Yay! So thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Take care and be safe. And see ya.
Bye.